Okay, welcome back to another video, and as you can see, this is a package video again from Japan, and this package has been on its way since the end of April, so it's been 2.5 months on its way by surface delivery, because I got a bit carried away on ordering something. I ordered some hardware and decided to pad out the package and realised that the postage was, well, it was over the weight for airmail, and I didn't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on recorded delivery. But nonetheless, it's here. This did arrive last Monday, but fortunately I was at home because I was sick, so I was able to retrieve the package, but unfortunately I've been too sick to be able to open it, so today's really the first day that I've been better. So as you can probably tell, I've had a chest infection, and yes, I have been to see my GP, so I'm on antibiotics to try and sort that out, but it is improving bit by bit. So I'll keep this short before my lungs give out, and if there's any coughing fits I'll edit it out. So that was the package, not me. So what I've done is I've loosened a lot of the bubble wrap on this because I thought it'll take ages to get through it. So I've ordered quite a few things, and the thing that I really wanted was this Super Famicom, because Super Famicom does what Nintendo don't, which is runs at 60 Hz and doesn't have the jail bars on it. And by playing, import games, because I've been using my import converter with my SNES, and I'm on to my second one now. The first one broke and managed to blow the fuse on my SNES, and I thought, no, I can't just keep buying these. I really need to get a Super Famicom. So this is here. It's slightly yellowed, but it wasn't particularly expensive. It was just the weight of it, which meant it took ages to arrive in the post. I don't know if I'd have just ordered that on its own, whether it would have gone over the weight limit. It might have. It wasn't terribly expensive. I don't think they're that valuable in Japan. The original NES consoles are, but the Super Famicoms aren't. So it came with 2 controllers in there and an AV lead, but I don't see myself using that because I've got my GameCube RGB cable, which does work with the Japanese Super Nintendo, but it doesn't work with the UK one unless you cut the capacitors, which is just weird. So I'll put this back in here for the moment. So the games that I got were probably 50-50 between Super Famicom and other platforms. So I got Super Street Fighter. Start again. Street Fighter 2, the original one, not the Super one. Donkey Kong 2, which is Donkey Kong Country 2. Donkey Kong 3, which is Donkey Kong Country 3. I've got the first one on PAL, but getting the sequels in the UK is just a non-starter. They're not particularly rare, they're just really valuable. And this one is, it's called Pac-Man 2, but looking at it, it's more of like a side-scrolling platform. It's more Pac-Land. So these came, as before, they came in bundles together, so I won these as not individual games, but as almost like mini job lots. So some of these games I've been looking for, and some of them are just bonuses with it. So this one, before I attempt to pronounce it, is Gun Hazard. So this is the sequel to the I was just looking at that front mission. I think this is the sequel rather than the original to Front Mission on the SNES. So it's a tactics game. There's Ranma Half, which is a 2D beat 'em up game. And this one is, I've had to write this down, I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, is Ganbare Goemon Yukehime Kyoshu Imaki, which is Legend of the Mystical Ninja. This is a 2D platformer game. It did come out in the UK eventually, but I think it was one of those ones that came out not as a launch game, but as a fairly early game in Japan. By the time it got to the UK, it was 94, 95. So this one is SD The Great Battle. So this is like your Super Robot Wars kind of SD, robots, Gundam, that kind of thing. And it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, so Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, that kind of game. Okay, so moving on to the PC Engine and CD case size games. I had to look at this for the pronunciation. It's Doemon Meikyu Dai Saikusen, which is Battle of the Labyrinth. And this game is a little bit like Bomberman. It's meant to be inverted in some way, so the idea is, I'm not sure if you're meant to be stopping bombs or something along those lines, but it's meant to be a very well recommended PC Engine game, and I saw that and it was quite cheap, and I thought, I like the cover, I like the the Doemon character, not that I know who he is, but he's a cat and he's blue and he looks cool, so I thought, yeah, I'll look into that a bit more, and having read a bit more, it looks good. So this is a game by Messiah, which is I'm not sure if they were a publisher or whether they were a developer, but they released a lot of really good shoot-'em-up games on the Mega Drive, and this one is called Xrd. I'm not sure what that means, but it's a robot game, and as you, I'll see if we can get a bit closer. So the artwork there, I really like the look of that. It's a tactics game. This is popular in Japan, or rather was popular in Japan in the early 90s. So I'm looking forward to playing that. Right, so moving on to the Saturn, this is a more familiar game. This is Lair Section, which was called Galactic Attack when it came out in the UK. And it's a 2D shoot-'em-up game. I think it was a launch title on the Saturn. It's impressive in the use of sprites, but it was one of those games that when it came out in the UK, I never really bothered with it. For some reason, just didn't seem interested. And then years later, I got to see Lair Section. I thought, this looks really good. And having played it at various places, I thought I really should add that to my own games collection. So there it is. So the last two, these were games that I was originally trying to find on the Super Famicom. But they were a little bit expensive, so I ended up going for the Saturn versions. So this is the original Ogre Battle, and this is Tactics Ogre. And they're both similar kinds of games, like Final Fantasy Tactics, that kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of tactics games. Again, this is going back to the thing about learning Japanese. Tactics games, they've got regular, like a regular set of vocabulary, so I'm trying to learn by doing things that way. Often a lot of it's using Google Translate, by just taking the characters and writing them into Google Translate, or taking screenshots and doing it that way, but bit by bit you learn to recognise the commands. So there's two more. So this was another bundle pack. This is... these are not quite as exotic. This was Super Donkey Kong GB, which is the conversion of Donkey Kong Country, the first one from the SNES to the Game Boy. I think it was the Game Boy Color as well. This is Kirby 2. That's meant to be a very good game. I haven't played it, but I've played the first one and I really enjoyed that on the Game Boy. This is Pocket Monster Trainer. I don't think that's Pokemon, but I think it's something similar. And the last one is Wario Land, which bizarrely has got a little picture of Mario on it. I'm not sure why. I haven't played this for a long time. I can't remember whether Mario appears in that game. I don't think he did. I know Wario appears at the end of Super Mario Land 2, but I don't think it worked the other way around. So the last game is Macross Ace Frontier. So this is a PSP game, which is a lot like, it's a bit like Zone of the Enders in the way it looks. So I've read up about this, and there's quite a few Macross games. I do like the Macross series, but the idea of having a mech fighting game on the PSP seems quite appealing. So I thought, yeah, I'll stick that in and go over the postage weight limit. But well, it arrived 2.5 months later. So I'm not planning to do gameplays as part of this video. There's just too many, and I'm not really up to it at the moment. However, if there are any games on from this box that you would like me to maybe prioritise and do some gameplays of first, then please post some comments below. I'd be happy to hear what you've well, I'll say got to say. It sounds like you're in trouble. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So I'm looking forward to being able to play the Super Famicom on a CRT again, because there's been all sorts of problems with it. My Super Nintendo broke, the fuse went, then the import adapter went, and now that I've finally got the Super Famicom a couple of weeks ago, my CRT has developed like a yellowing around the outside, so I think that's on its way out. So hopefully I will get to play some Japanese Super Famicom games as they were meant to be played eventually. So I'll have to try and get a new CRT this weekend. But that won't stop me playing the doing the gameplays, because that's all done using an LCD. So yeah, looking forward to it. So thanks for watching.